All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. Round 3. Just got done with My Hero, enjoyed that chapter, and now it's time for Jujutsu. But that doesn't mean that the fun stops there. There is so much more to do today for me and for you. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my third reaction for today, but not my last, of Jujutsu Kaisen! We got a brand new chapter. Good to see you, Psycho. Good to see you, Ogata. Last we left off... Almost sounded like someone's putting the garage up. Last we left off, we had Gojo going up against Sukuna and finding out that Sukuna has pretty much adjusted to infinity. And now Gojo has to adjust his tactics so that he doesn't use his own techniques so that Sukuna can't become adapted to them thanks to Maharaga's wheel, which is what's been going on this entire time. So now Unlimited Void will not work on Sukuna because he's adapted to it. But now we need to find out what happens in Chapter 232. Sorry, I was eating chips. Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown Part 10. And we have Gojo versus Sukuna, and they keep fighting. And Maharaga's wheel continues to turn. That's the second spin, goes Yuji. 2 more, and Sukuna will adapt to Gojo's inviolability. Act more concerned, Gojo! As Gojo is just running and blitzing Sukuna. And as he's running towards him, he's using Curse Technique Lapse Blue in order to cause debris to launch at Sukuna instead. Instead of hitting Sukuna with these curse techniques, he's using his curse techniques to launch objects at him. Sukuna can adapt to, like a single piece of debris being thrown at him, but he can't adapt to blue or red if they don't actually touch him. And as he causes Sukuna to land on one spot, he causes a whole convergence of blue to appear around Sukuna, but it doesn't actually touch him. And then it swirls into one point. And then it just shows Sukuna dodging all of these curse lapse blues until Gojo's right behind him. And he tries to kick Gojo, but Gojo catches his leg and then proceeds to kick Sukuna with enough force to leave like a bloody wound on his side. Back away, but the wheel of Maharaga continues to go and it spins a third time. The third spin, goes Kirara. Only one more to go, goes Kinji. His time... What's necessary for adapting? Or experience? Oh, I see. Does he adapt by taking time to analyze an attack after getting hit once? Or does he adapt after getting hit by the same attack multiple times? That's the question. That means the reason Gojo isn't using curse techniques besides lapses. Yeah, which is it? All we can say is both are possible, as it shows Gojo knocking Sukuna straight through an opening. And then Gojo goes, now I gotta pile it on. Then he'll think I'm only gonna use Azure. The Time Moon will stop him from adapting to it. Curse Technique Reversal. As it shows Sukuna going around a corner trying to blitz Gojo, as Gojo is attempting to use another technique. But then the wheel of Maharaga starts to Curse Technique Reversal. Red. And he aims towards Sukuna, but he blasts the pillar in front of Sukuna, causing the shards from the pillar hit by Red to hit Sukuna instead. And he goes, Tch. He used amplification to minimize the damage. Even if he amplifies to negate a low output and neutral limitless curse technique, he can't fully negate Azure and reverse Red. And then it shows Sukuna, who, like he said, used amplification to shield himself a little bit to minimize the damage. But he can't fully negate Azure and reverse Red. And then we have the lawyer dude. I always forget his name. Did Sukuna outmaneuver him? Sukuna's gonna adapt! And it shows Sukuna standing there in front of Gojo as Gojo causes more debris to sail around Sukuna. You're sloppy. Are you panicking because I saw through you? Actually, Red hasn't exploded yet. What? He shot Red, but it didn't explode. Huh? And then Red hits Sukuna directly in the Oh, Gojo! Gojo, you goat! Oh my goodness. All of a sudden, Sukuna gets hit from behind by the explosion of Red. From behind? I see. The structure of the building. He had Red swing around through it before striking. And as Sukuna is launched towards Gojo, Gojo runs towards Sukuna with fist clench and hits Sukuna with Black Flash, shocking everybody. Black Flash. And then we see Sukuna's eyes that have completely whited over. I'm concerned though. Because I can't, this isn't like One Piece where you see a person's eyes wide over after getting hit massively. I can't trust it that his eyes are widened over because he got clocked or because he's doing something else. So I can't trust it. But this is the first we're seeing Gojo use Black Flash at all. I think this is the first time we're seeing Gojo just straight up use Black Flash. And he hits Sukuna directly in the midsection. And Maharaga's wheel drops off the back of Sukuna and falls to the ground. But then it starts spinning immediately. And then Gojo's legs go inside of a shadow. And go inside of a shadow as giant hands come out of the shadow. No way. Sensei! As the hands of Maharaga himself come out of the shadow and slash Gojo across the chest. Gojo jumps away, but he gets slashed across the chest by Maharaga. And you just see a spray of blood go completely up his body with his own blood splattered on the side of his face. And that's the end of the chapter. Higurama. Thank you, Ogata. I appreciate you. So we got Gojo being the curse technique genius that he is, using his techniques to use outside objects to attack Sukuna, until he leads Sukuna into a state of thinking, I figured you out. You using your curse techniques around me so that I can adapt to it. Not realizing that Gojo has basically been setting up Sukuna from the very beginning. So when they get into this building, that's this circular building that has like a circular structure, and he shoots off curse technique reversal red, he shoots it in a circle that winds up hitting Sukuna directly in the back, allowing Gojo to hit him in the midsection with Black Flash. That almost folds Sukuna. It makes his whole wheel drop off his back, but it spins as Gojo falls into a shadow and gets slashed across the chest by Maharaga. Now, we've seen what the blade of Maharaga can do. We've seen what the blade of Maharaga can do to curse techniques. It can completely dispel them. But what does it mean for Maharaga's blade to pierce a person? Does that mean that their techniques get cut completely through? The ability of the person to use curse techniques, does that get sliced into? There's so many things to think about, because we've seen Maharaga's wheel slice through techniques themselves. But do we see his blade slice through people? And what happens if you cut into a jujutsu sorcerer, a curse user? What happens then? Do they become unable to use their own curse techniques? Do they get cut off from it? Does Maharaga automatically adapt to it? Because let me go over here. Let's see. Sword of Extermination. That's what Maharaga has. It's a cursed tool possessed by the most powerful Shikigami of the 10 Shadows technique, 8-handled sword divergent Sila Divine General Maharaga. It's a specialized blade for cursed spirits that is enveloped in positive energy. Cruelly attached to his right forearm under layers of bandage wrappings. The Shikigami generally engages in offense using close quarters combat, making the Sword of Extermination its primary weapon in battle. Maharaga began his battle with Sukuna by swinging the Sword Extermination down at the King of Curses. As an incarnated cursed spirit occupying a human vessel, Sukuna's body was not destroyed by the positive energy emitted by the blade. Even so, Maharaga's strength forced Sukuna to dodge before the blade broke through his defense. Sukuna recognized the Sword of Extermination for its unique abilities and admitted that he would have died had he been a normal cursed spirit. After adapting to Sukuna's slashing-based curse techniques, Maharaga was able to deflect one of his attacks using the blade. So it doesn't say anything about whether the person, their techniques could get sliced through. But the sword is only dangerous to cursed spirits? Yep, just covered that. So yeah. So he gets slashed. And it doesn't seem like it's gonna cut off Gojo from being able to use his own curse techniques because it's positive energy. And Gojo already knows how to take negative and positive energy and just combine them together. So this shouldn't cut him off from being able to use reverse curse technique in order to heal himself. It shouldn't. But the last time we saw the Sword of Extermination being used on flesh was when Sukuna was in control of Yuji's body, and it was during the whole Shibuya incident. And it didn't stop Sukuna, but he did say it did force Sukuna to dodge before the blade broke through his defense. So it remains to be seen if Gojo can heal with reverse curse technique. He shouldn't be it shouldn't be a problem for him, though. It shouldn't be a problem for him because it's positive energy. It's not negative energy. Negative energy has like the opposite effect. It would be bad for Gojo, but it's positive energy. Not saying that it's beneficial, but he still got cut by it. But it shouldn't keep him from using any of his techniques because, one, Gojo is not a cursed spirit, so it shouldn't affect him on that level. And two, Gojo's body itself is not a cursed technique. Like, he can use one, but it's not like if you cut Gojo with a curse technique dampening type of thing, then he's unable to use it. It's not like the Sword of Heaven that Toji was using. So Gojo should be able to heal himself from this. He should be able to heal himself from this. We're not going on break from this type of chapter. The only thing that's going on break is One Piece, so we get My Hero, we get Jujutsu next week as well. So, it's nice, but here's the thing, though. Gojo pushed Sukuna to the point where Maharaga had to be called out from a shadow. And seeing as how you brought that up, Halster, seeing as how Maharaga got brought out from a shadow, Sukuna is not completely down for the count. Because curse techniques from their curse users don't just autonomously function on their own without the person activating them. So Sukuna is very much still conscious, even though he just flat out got hit by Black Flash. He's still conscious enough to summon Maharaga from a shadow in order for him to slash Gojo. So this fight is still continuing on. The wheel of Maharaga is off of Sukuna, but the fight is still on. All in all, good chapter. I enjoyed it. Just seeing just how versatile and how quick thinking Gojo is when it comes to this entire fight. Because he's been thinking several steps ahead, but not to the point where he's able to just end Sukuna right then and there. But he's still able to keep up with Sukuna, despite the fact that Sukuna has been trying. And the thing is, he's actually the one who's pushing Sukuna. Sukuna's not the one who's got Gojo on the back burner. It's Gojo who's on the offensive and has been pushing, driving this whole time. And all Sukuna can do right now is just defend himself. Not saying that Sukuna doesn't have anything to do. Because he's been shown to try and hit Gojo multiple times, but Gojo keeps, just dodging him like that new chick from Tekken 7. Tekken 8 from Tekken 8, the coffee girl, I forget her name, the one that has that whole moveset where she's dodging everyone's moves. Gojo is just flowing in this fight. And you bring that up, J Music. Gojo did a Black Flash, so he's in his zone now. Yeah, because that's the only time you can do a Black Flash is when you are truly in sync. When you're truly in sync with what you're doing, everything is on the same level. That's when you can do a Black Flash. And Gojo has to be in the zone right now because that's the only way you can really pull it off. It's unknown how many times he can do Black Flash, though. But Nanami did up to about 4, but it's unknown how many Gojo can do. Who knows? Maybe he could do Black Flashes with all of his combat moves, but, I mean, he's in the zone now, so it might be the start of it. But I don't want to get too preemptive. Good chapter. We'll have to see what happens with the next fight after Gojo gets slashed in the chest. Highly doubt that him being unable to use reverse curse technique would be an issue for him. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. We'll just have to see what happens. He got surprised a little bit and slashed across the chest, but he didn't have like a look of fear on his face when he got slashed. I mean, if he can take multiple slashes from Sukuna, who kept trying to kill him that way, and instantly using reverse curse technique in order to heal himself instantly the whole time and survive the slashes of Sukuna, which we've seen to be able to cut through anything and anyone, then I don't think this slash from Maharaga is going to be too big of an issue. But overall, good chapter. This is where I'm going to call it because I still got Dragon Ball Super to go through. I got a snack I need to finish, and then afterwards I'll be doing a reaction to the Black Myth Wukong video that dropped last night. And then I can rest for the rest of the day because it's been a busy day. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I really do hope you enjoyed my reading of the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. All I can say to everyone right here, right now is... hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Pay no mind to Denim. He's just hearing people pull into the garage because the garage went up, so he's doing that because he wants people to let him out. All I can say to everyone is hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Dragon Ball Super is next. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, if you haven't already, and because it can help the channel, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later peoples, onwards to Dragon Ball Super.